in if there is a worst case scenario which comes out. Small cap index is down 4, mid cap index is down 3.6, and Nifty Junior is down about 3.5%, 833 down. No point looking at advanced decline, no point looking at names. All the names are down. Everything is looking on the lower side, and some of the names are cracking as much as about 10 to 12 odd percent. Let's just look at some of the volume losers or companies that are going down and going down with volumes. Mayuresh Joshi is also now joining us. Mayuresh, good afternoon. Nothing pretty good about this afternoon, but what is the sense that you get about the markets? It's just scare in the market which is taking the markets down?
So afternoon, Pankaj, at least at this point of time, I think one really is not sure of what kind of escalations will come through in the next few days. So it's going to be a wait and watch mode on the surgical strikes that have happened today. And that is largely what is going to keep the markets on tenterhooks, specifically in the Indian context. So largely, I think it's going to be a wait and watch mode over the next few days. And then that's how the markets will react.
And in terms of flows, you think it can just put a stoppage to the activity of flows, or say if any flows were going to come also in the next few days, it can just put investors on the sidelines?
Again, I think as I've been mentioning, you need to probably assess the situation over the next few days and how much escalation probably happens. Again, I think hearing out experts, the defense experts on most other news channels, it seems that the escalation in terms of a full-blown war seems very unlikely at this point of time, and that probability is very, very minuscule. But again, I think what really comes out in terms of statements from the government on the other side is going to be equally awaited, and that will probably keep the markets on tenterhooks, at least at this point of time. In terms of flows, probably, I think the foreign investors will probably like to assess the situation as well, read into the lines on what kind of statement comes from both governments in this matter. And that largely will determine the kind of flows that come into the economy. But largely, again, as I've been mentioning time and again, I think India is best placed within the entire emerging economy pack.
Right. Nobody is doubting that. But in such a scenario, flows don't come. So PEs get derated, risk premium that people say tend to increase.
Again, I think the sentimental knee-jerk reactions you've already witnessed on the stock markets at this point of time, and you can't preempt what is going to happen over the next few days or weeks, and that uncertainty, as I've been mentioning in the last few minutes, I think will keep the markets on tenterhooks. At the same time, I think the foreign investors look at the fundamental aspects as well, unless something goes wrong over the next few weeks, and that we can't preempt at this point of time. But on the fundamental footing, I think India is very strong. You might probably have investors stay on the sidelines to see what developments happen.
I think we have an issue with that link. We'll just get back to him. But he was saying that investors or long-term investors would not so easily exit. They would wait and watch for situation to happen. It's not something which has changed now. So they would wait and watch for the situation to happen. And okay, he's back with us. Mayuresh, could you just complete that point? You were saying that very long-term investors would not exit out in just the one day.
Well, absolutely, I think, because the economy stays on a strong footing, and as I was mentioning, I think if something goes wrong politically over the next few weeks, I think that's a different story altogether, but it's very difficult to preempt that. So long-term investors have nothing to worry about specifically for an economy like India, which is best placed in my opinion. And the flows might just remain on the sidelines, because I think over the next few days, I think reactions, counter-reactions will be watched out for. And anyway, there's a weekend coming around the corner, so I think it's just one trading day tomorrow. So next few days, I think it's going to be a wait and watch mode for the markets, in my opinion.
Right. High leveraged, trading favorite names should be avoided at this moment because they can give you sharp moves either up or down.
I think everything's correcting in the market today, Pankaj. I think everything was probably moving up in the morning, and everything has corrected. Within that space itself, yes, I think high beta names generally tend to, I think, crack more. So I think, yes, one really must be careful, specifically from a trading perspective in the markets.
Right, but just avoid any positions. Trying to bottom or trying to find another top. Is that something which any investor trader should just avoid at this moment?
At this point, yes, because I think let things settle down. I think you're not really in a hurry to probably start taking positions either long or short in this market. I think give it some time. I think there's no harm in waiting for a few days, reassess the situation, and then probably take a call on the market.
Mayuresh, just stay on with us. We're taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes, coming back with market closing 150 plus points down for the Nifty. $150 points decline for the market, 7 minutes to go. We were talking to Mayuresh. Joshi is still with us. Mayuresh, in such environment, stocks which have high FII holding do tend to fall. So something like a banks would be the first one to fall with the largest sort of a move.
Possibly, I think, and it's been a convergence of sorts today. I think these surgical strikes, add to that the expiry, and third, I think the markets were fairly valued at higher levels. So I think all these three factors have probably culminated together, and I think that fall has got accentuated for these factors. Yes, I think stocks with larger FII holdings probably tend to get beaten down, as do high beta stocks. But largely, again, I think my own sense is that as an investment destination, India still seems to be a favorite spot between foreign investors. So I think the reaction is probably knee-jerk at this point of time. So I think let's wait and watch what happens over the next few days.
Imtiaz Qureshi now also joins us. Imtiaz, good afternoon. What do you make of the derivative sides of the position, or what is it looking like? Do you think markets can fall down further?
As of now, what I can see, understand that this is a zigzag structure and the market is likely to take somewhere support at around 8550, which was earlier last month bottom. So I think so we need to see that 8550 is not able to break or not. If it all doesn't break, then this is the third leg, and the fourth leg upside will definitely start up. But as of now, we are looking for the market for taking a support somewhere around 8550.
8550, which is also the low of the day?
You can say it is a low of the day. It is a last month bottom also, and it is the bottom where the market actually started its rally. So it is a very much, you can say, a triple combination support. So which will definitely see a big move from, if at all that level can break 8550. Because below 8550, it will definitely give not only the negative breakout on the weekly chart, but it will give definitely to the monthly chart also negative breakout, and which will definitely take the market below 8400.
As far as Nifty is concerned, or tomorrow morning or maybe Monday morning is concerned, it's quite a possibility that there may be a gap down opening, because we're seeing a huge position getting unwind today. But still, there may be a lot of M2M losses. So if there is a gap down below 8550, would that be sufficient for you to confirm, or you would wait?
Actually, technically, the structure get defined only below the closing. But yes, what you said is very much right. That if at all tomorrow we see the gap down opening maybe 30-40 point, then this will definitely give an impact that the lower level will definitely start getting opening. And I think so the probability and the structure looks very much similar, that this is the first time that we had hit the lower low. And since the rally has started from 6825 till 8944 or 8900, very much close to 9000. And this is the first time we had given a lower bottom closing. So this is going to create a short-term top at the level, and the rally which we have seen 68 to almost 9000 will see some retracement coming in, and that would be somewhere around 84 or maybe 83 level.
Right. Mayuresh, you are surprised by the move in some of the high beta names like SBI, Axis. They've just fallen about 1-2% or maybe max 2.5%.
Yes, and again, as I said, I think knee-jerk reactions onto these stocks. And again, one must realize that over the next few weeks, I think few developments are taking place both domestically and globally. We've got our own RBI policy to contend with on the 4th of October. And what probably happens with the US elections is also going to be on top of the minds of global investors. So what happens over the next few weeks is going to be equally crucial. And again, what the Fed does in its December policy. So I think all these actions will start gaining traction over the next few days. So again, I think there are too many economic developments to take place. So what really happens out of that is also required to be monitored equally.
Mayuresh, as far as overall markets are concerned, and as you said that, now you're looking at a December Fed. Now, when the September Fed hike actually went away, the view was that till US elections, we don't have any major triggers. Now, would the market start looking or wait for the event to happen and then start to buy? Because earlier it was you buy first and then wait for the event.
So again, I think the liquidity remains extremely strong because of the negative yields that you're probably seeing across global bond markets. So I think the cash has to be deployed at some point of time. So I think they're not going to wait for the US elections to probably happen. You'll see exit polls happening before that. So largely, I think the dependency factor on who will win and the probability thereof, I think, will determine the market trend post the elections. But pre-elections, I think reasonable amount of liquidity still shall keep coming in. So again, I think qualitatively, I think sectors which get beaten down for whatever reason over the next few days, I think you will find investor interest coming back in those sectors.
Mayuresh, Imtiaz, just stay on with us. About a minute remaining for markets to shut and not looking that good. 400 points down for the Nifty, 127. There has been a sharp uptick. If I just pull up the Nifty intraday, you'll get a sense of what I'm saying. But again, it's just a 2-minute move, so it will not get captured in the entire adjusted closing. HUL down about 1%. Bharti Infratel was the top gainer. In fact, it was up 3% till close. It's almost closing now, and it's up about 3.5 odd percent. Let's look at some of the other names as well, and what's happening in the Nifty pack. So if I look at some of the other names on the Nifty 50 pack and really what's happening, there you go. There is that sharp up move that we're talking about, 129 points lower. Let's look at the top losers on the Nifty pack. Let's just pull up the wall once again. So BHEL was down about 7. Aurobindo Pharma is down close to about 5. That's the closing bell that we're talking about. Markets have shut for the day. It would have come in as a sharp sigh of relief for a lot of investors, especially who are bulls in the market. SBI down 1.7, Kotak down 0.5%, ICICI Bank down 3%, ITC down about 0.5% or so. Axis Bank down about 1.4, Hindalco down about 4, Idea Cellular was down 2, BHEL was among the top losers, down 7%. 17 million shares traded for BHEL, 133, 134. Aurobindo Pharma down 5%. It's been one of the biggest performers. So today retracing some of those losses, 831, 4.5 million shares traded for Aurobindo Pharma, 831, 832 for Aurobindo Pharma, 4 million shares traded. Let's look at the other movers as well. So Hindalco was down about 4%, 150, 14 million. Very, very strong move. Adani Ports was down 4%, 260 rupees for Adani. Tech Mahindra was down about 3.5%. 425. That's a name which has trickled down from 500 levels to 400 in just a matter of time. This is a time when some of the IT names have not particularly cracked so much. Bank of Baroda is down 3.5, 162 for Bank of Baroda. ICICI down about 3. Tata Steel down close to 3. Lupin not looking that good, down 3%. Sun Pharma down 3%. Tata Motors down 2.5. And the list can just go on and on as far as these losers are concerned. Sun Pharma down close to about 3% odd. Let's look at the broader market space, and there we have a lot of companies with volumes that actually went out. Let's look at the index as well. So the broader market indices did not do that well. We were down 4% for BSE small cap, 3.5%, 4% for the BSE mid cap space. Jet Airways is the top loser, 12% decline. 5 million shares traded for Jet Airways, 495. Not looking that good for Jet Airways. Arcom down 11%, 42 rupees. ICICI Prudential down close to 11%, 295. GMR Infrastructure, a very, very heavy volume name, 26 million shares traded. Let's look at ICICI Prudential. It was a new listing. It was the first day of listing, and what a day to list. It's down about 11 odd percent, 295. Marksans Pharma was down about 10 odd percent, 49 rupees. Orchid Pharma down close to 14%. Rain Industries off late has been buzzing, down 10%. Copran Limited not looking that good. Balaji Telefilms, we spoke to them in the morning. It's down about 10% right now. And some of these names have just cracked and they've just not looked behind for any of these names. Adani Enterprise for one. TV18 down 9%. Reliance Infrastructure down 8.5%. DLF down 8%, 142. Adani Power down 8.5%. JSPL down 8%. Bank, and these are big names that we are talking about. DLF is an industry leader in the retail, in the real estate space. JSPL, of course, earlier was a Nifty company, but still has substantial capacity. Bank of India down about 8%, 110 rupees for Bank of India. Indian Bank down about 8%, 208. MMTC down 8%. IDBI 7.8% down. Union Bank 7.6% down. Diwan Housing 7%. This is the name which is a play on low rates. Everybody just wanted to buy this till yesterday or maybe today morning, but Diwan Housing, that's down about 7 odd percent. BHEL, L&T Finance Holdings, SAIL, Fortis, and high beta names just tend to go on in such a market which are just losing. Mayuresh is still with us. Imtiaz is still with us. Mayuresh, interest rate plays in India still continue to be the favorite. So if there is a further decline of 10-15%, you would start to hunt in this market?
Oh, absolutely. I think if such a fall comes through, I think very happy to start looking at qualitative names within this space, whether that be larger private sector banks or whether that be NBFCs.
Right. Imtiaz, what is your view on the rate sensitive?
I didn't get your question.
What is your view on rate sensitive names? Any banks, Nifty Bank, what will be your view?
Pankaj, already Bank Nifty has given a monthly breakdown at below 19,600, and from there we continue to see the selling pressures. And right now today we have seen some high beta banking stocks losing the stream like SBI, Yes Bank, ICICI Bank. Everybody has started giving the fall. But it is a considerable that the entire rally was being participated from the banking sectors, and today the losing was coming from the banking sector. So not a doubt, but somewhere down the line I am looking that the fall will definitely continue for another couple of days, and after that there would be a consolidation. Until unless this consolidation doesn't get completed, I don't think so that it would be a good level to buy any stocks. But yes, I would give a chance that if at all some pullback come, then would be taking as a sell on rally.
Mayuresh, mid cap, small cap, still too early to bottom fish. They have really rallied. Just wait for another 5-10%.
Again, the rally has been quite humongous, Pankaj, in both these spaces. And largely, as I've been mentioning time and again, I think what really needs to adopt a stock-specific approach within this entire gamut. And largely, again, I think wait for your price points to come through. Since the uncertainty continues over the next few days and the markets crack further, I think qualitative stocks within this space can definitely be looked at, whether they be mid-cap FMCG companies, mid-cap cement companies, which have run up significantly over the past few weeks. Such corrections will be welcome, and again, I think would give long-term investors an opportunity to start nibbling in.
Mayuresh, how would you look at the flows in the next few days? If the flow activity turns negative, or if it doesn't really pick up, one should just wait till the flows pick up to buy, even if the price is higher?
Well, absolutely, and as I said earlier, I think it should be a wait and watch mode. The currency again will be a little bit under pressure. We've already seen that today, and again that would also be construed to be a knee-jerk reaction, at least at this point of time. But largely, yes, I think one really needs to have a wait and watch mode adopted at this point of time, specifically in terms of fresh investments. And again, wait to see how the reactions are. So I think there's no need to rush into the markets, even if the markets probably move up over the next few days. Again, I think one really needs to reassess the situation, look at the kind of stocks you've got in your portfolio at the current juncture and what you're needed to buy. So I think you need to buy quality in these markets and stick with quality for a longer period of time.
Right, Mayuresh, Imtiaz, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Hope to see you again soon. 465 points down for the Sensex, 153 for Nifty. These are adjusted numbers that we are talking about. Just for Nifty, the provisional close came in at 8618. So it's an adjustment of 28 points. But